Alright, so if you're happy with the current measurements, next thing to do obviously is collect some data. So you won't do this when your log has first been commissioned, but the next time you come back to the site, this is what you want to be doing, collecting the data that's been stored while you haven't been there. So that's the Collect Data tab. There's a Collect button on the left-hand side here. I'm going to press that button. Little progress bar goes from 0 to 100%, tells me collection is complete. There we go. Now if I press Collect again, there we go. Collection complete, no new data was collected. Right, so down the bottom here, these are all the data tables that are listed in my logger. Sec5 is the one I'm interested in. It's storing a new record every 5 seconds. So I have that checked for download. There's always going to be a public and status table. They're unchecked by default because you generally don't want to download them. It'll be the other data tables in there that you'll be interested in. Okay, so that is my data downloaded. The data is now on my PC. It's in this file here, C drive Campbell site PC200W. The name of my station, and then the data table name, .dat. If I want to have a look at the data in that file, I've got two options. First of those is to use the Campbell Scientific View program. There's a button here for it, so I'll click that button, which opens up View. I'll maximize that. There's an Open button on the left-hand side of this toolbar. Let me click that Open button. It will show all of the data tables that I've downloaded. There's the one that I've just downloaded right now. So let me double click on that. And here's the list of all the data that's been collected in the last 10 minutes or so since I've had this logger up and running. New record every 5 seconds. That's the timestamp in the first column. The second column is the record number that starts at 0. And then here are all the columns that have been set up in my data logger program. So all of these columns here, they will depend on the program which your logger is running. Those programs could be written by yourself or us at Campbell's. So you'll need to ask the programmer if you want to change those columns. Now of course I can do simple things like choose a column. Click this button here, which is Show New Line Graph. This is showing me my line graph of air temperature. Very good, I can close that down. Choose a different column maybe. What about air pressure? That's fairly stable, straight line, the air pressure isn't changing too much. RH might be changing a little bit. There we go, there's the relative humidity here in my office. Alright, now there's a button in the background here, this one here, called Keep Selected Graph on Top. I'll click that, my graph will stay on top, and now I can choose other columns to add to my graph. Alright, that's the Campbell Scientific View program. There's not much to it. Fairly simple fare that lets you quickly and easily have a look at your data. I'll close that down and I'm going to open up Windows Explorer. And from Windows Explorer, I'm going to browse to C drive, Campbell Sci, PC200W. And now there's that file that I've downloaded. Now if you haven't done this already, in order to open this up in Excel, I'm going to change a setting in Windows Explorer. I'm going to choose Tools and then Folder Options. And then under View, I'm going to uncheck the box that says Hide Extensions for Known File Types. And then I'm going to click OK. Now generally Windows, if it recognizes a file, it will hide that .dat or .exe or whatever the extension is, it will hide it from you if you have that option checked. I want to change the extension of this file, so I've had it unchecked. I'm going to press F2 to rename, or I could choose right click on the file and then choose rename. And instead of a .dat, I'm going to rename it as a .csv file and then press enter. Alright, and now if you have Microsoft Excel installed on your computer, I can now double click on that file or press enter. There we are, and it will open that file in Excel and format it nicely in the columns for me. And then I can use all of Excel's niceness, all of their graphs and columns and pie charts and whatever else Excel has to offer. So that's opening up one of our data files in Excel. You need to find your file, rename it to a .csv, and then double click. Okay, well that's connecting to our loggers using PC200W, looking at the current measurements and downloading the data. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time.